You. Hello again, Ogata-san. My food has been ate, sipping on a little tea right now, and I'm prepared to read through both chapters of One Punch Man so that I'm fully caught up. And then I'm probably going to relax the rest of the day. Well, actually, you know what? No, I'll probably relax a little, and then I'll bring up the Callisto Protocol again, because I'm pretty much at the end of the game. I looked up how long the game is, and I'm pretty much at the end. So once I beat Callisto Protocol, I can get back to God of War Ragnarok and go through that, and then play a little bit of Marvel's Midnight Suns. So I'm looking forward to all of that. But let's go ahead and get this started. Let's go ahead and get the formalities out of the way. Yo, peoples, Kyushu92 here. And welcome back to yet another One Punch Man chapter reaction and review. Well, chapters reaction and review, because I missed 2 chapters that went up in November because I didn't check. And now I'm playing Keep Up so I can read through all of them. So, there's only 2 chapters. Let's get started. In the last chapter of One Piece, Saitama was made rank A. He's now class A. And since his entire city was destroyed, including his home, he's now moving into the Heroes Association headquarters, which is only allowed for people who are ranked A and above. So now he's staying there. And last we left off, Spermatozoon was traveling with Pochi to the hideout, posing as a monkey, but it's at that moment that Spermatozoon realized that he was last chapter of One Piece. Did I say last chapter of One Piece? I meant to say last chapter of One Punch Man. Hold on. Yep. Last I got One Piece on the brain. In the last chapter of One Punch Man, just gloss over the One Piece part and just put in the One Punch Man part. That's what I meant. But we're at the Heroes headquarters now, which is now also being offered as the living quarters for the rich and famous, as another way for the Heroes Association to continuously get funding. And that's good for the people who pay for it, because then they get to be protected by all these Class A and Class S heroes under one roof. But everyone else, they gotta find some other place to live. So let's find out what happens in the story in Chapter 1, Punch 171, Secret Info. And it begins with the headquarters. And then Then it cuts to the control room as someone is saying, "Metal Knight sure does shoddy work. The Hero Association gave him a fortune for a defense system, and the robots end up exploding because of a malfunction." And if you remember from the last chapter, Saitama was the reason why those robots were destroyed. They tried to assault him because they saw the monsters that was traveling with Saitama, and Saitama just nonchalantly destroyed every single robot, not realizing that they were part of the defense system. And then, upon finding out that they cost millions of yen, he was trying to say, like, well, it's a malfunction, because, Saitama's cheap, and he doesn't have that kind of money. "Metal Knight sure does shoddy work. The Hero Association gave him a fortune for a defense system, and the robots end up exploding because of a malfunction. All those donations up in smoke! I sent him the security camera feed, so I wonder what excuse he'll make. He rarely responds to urgent summons, though. Maybe he'll claim they didn't malfunction. That wouldn't go over well either. He boasted the system could defeat any monster." And then it cuts to the man who controls. Here's the man. Oh, we get him. "Level 4, Level 7, Level 9, Level 10. What a surprise. So my new defense system was defeated. Even though my level 10 robot has a record of successfully defeating 2 captured threat level demon monsters at once. Dr. Beaufoy, hero name, Metal Knight. We have the man right here and there. Plus, the one who destroyed them was the Class A rank 39 novice, the Bald Cape. He rose to Class C 65 days ago, and then to Class B 49 days ago, and then to Class A just 2 days ago. That's too fast. I'll check the association's database. They may be hiding info on him. His record of feats including suppressing the ninja Sonic in City Z, and assisting destruction of a giant meteor in City Z. He was there. He also helped to defeat the Deep Sea King in City J, and the human monster Garo in City Z. Is that all? It sounds normal to me. But what's this note here? Set records doing physical tests. Seems like the HA doesn't know much. However, this footage suggests combat skills at Class S or higher. Just in case he ever becomes my enemy, I shall observe him. I don't know what Dr. Wolfboy is hoping to get by trying to study Saitama, but it probably won't lead to any fruitful conclusions because everyone has tried to analyze just how strong Saitama is and no one's been able to do it. Not even Child Emperor, who created a device specifically during one of the side stories in one of the previous volumes that analyzes the power of Saitama, and the device broke because his power is incalculable. 2 days earlier, we got Sitch. I summoned you here because you reported odd phenomena during the raid on the Monster Association, and it may be related to the prophecy of danger to Earth. And it's Zombie Man, Flashy Flash, and a whole bunch of other S-ranks heroes. And there's a My Mask, who's A rank. I need what you know to formulate an official opinion. Until then, keep what you hear today under wraps. Understood? Genos! Understood. Zombie Man. I don't mind, but why keep it secret? Flashy Flash. As I reported, any hero could monsterize at any moment. We should issue a warning. I agree, but we need information and countermeasures before going public. An announcement now would only breed suspicion among heroes in the populace. I know I'm flubbing my words, please excuse me. Second goal, the public would panic, fearing the people around them will become monsters. My mask. Wait, I'm confused and need more info. Anyone can become a monster now. My mask. Didn't you read the report? I'm busy filming. I'm here to offer advice, but my schedule is packed, so keep it short. And everyone's just fed up with a My Mask's vanity-filled brain. And then Genos. Perhaps I should explain. I want at least 3 hours to relate Master Saitama's role. Have you been listening? I'll save Genos for last. Zombie Man, Homeless Emperor told you of an unusual path to becoming a monster. Yes. He said he received divine power from an entity claiming to be God. And then everyone is shocked to hear that. God? I was going to capture him for questioning, but he turned to salt and ash and crumbled. But at the end, he spoke of God. Some power may have silenced him. Was there any communication via telepathy? No. Why? Bald Cape, Oculet, and I encountered something deep underground. Oculet? All right, because that's the monster they traveled with. Anyway, it offered power but threatened to take it away from an unworthy vessel. The message came straight into our heads. Hey, come to think of it, he did look like he was hearing something only he could hear. If his death was the result of losing power, we may have encountered the same God. My mask! God, huh? Maybe the monster boss did it. After all, Gyoro was psychic, right? Then why only give power to one big shot? Blast wouldn't hide himself to chase a monster like that. Blast? Sitch, you know about that, don't you? Huh? Blast asked us to send his regards. What? Indeed, I've hidden it up until now, but Blast has been fighting the god you've encountered for 20 years. Wow, what? So the same being that gave Homeless Emperor all that power, and then promised Flashy Flash, Saitama, and Oculet power, Blast has been fighting that same god being all this time. Metal Knight, you don't want to smoke? I'm just not reading your comment. I'm sorry about that, Ogata-san. Yeah. No one's been able to beat Saitama. Not even Garo, who was able to assume the all-encompassing power of the universe, and Saitama still beat him. Blast has been fighting the god you've encountered for 20 years. And this surprises everyone, because they know very little about Blast, except for Flashy Flash, Saitama, and Oculate, who met him in person. He operates with his partner and collaborators to collect mysterious monsterizing cubes. That box. They're artifacts supposedly for contacting God. He collects them for his collaborators to analyze. Then 2 years ago, when Blast engaged Center Chodo, God contacted him directly. He refused the offer of power and fought instead. Huh, I didn't know that, says Second Gall. Even the full might of the association would not have been victorious, and our sensors weren't picking up anything. We thought if a hero was unaware of this god, it might reduce the risk of being targeted, even if just slightly. So we made it seem like he hid himself without saying anything in order to protect everyone. Although, even if I had reported these events to the higher-ups, they probably would have assumed Blast was evading responsibility for letting Setichoto escape. Flashy Flash. And even now, he seeks a way to fight back. I always assumed he had a good reason for disappearing. Oh wait, this is Genos. I always assumed he had a good reason for disappearing. He's fighting alone to protect us. Oh wait, I always assumed he had a good reason for disappearing. Zombie Man. He's fighting alone to protect us. That's hard-boiled. Actually, it is too bad. Huh? If we had known sooner, Master Saitama, aka the Bald Cape, could have handled it. But fighting God requires manipulating space and time, and only Blast can do that. Are you sure? And then he puts out his own core that Saitama brought back from the future and puts it out on the table. I could not include everything in my report, but I can indicate a way to solve this problem. Then he told them, and everyone is shocked over the information that they just got. And that includes all the feats of Saitama. Then he told them about what happened between Saitama and Garo, and what had happened to them. It took 4 hours. And everyone is thinking, this is taking forever. And my mask just basically just left. My mask cut out for scheduling reasons. Approximately 90% was about Saitama. Flashy Flash, are you sleeping? As a ninja, do you not value information? Information is about quality over quantity. Is anything more important than Master Saitama? Take it easy, says Zombie Man. And I'm like, here's the thing that Genos doesn't understand. Not everyone sees Saitama the same way he sees him. But Genos is saying all this stuff about Saitama as almost to a fanatical degree. Like, is anything more important than Master Saitama? Yes, there's a ton of more things more important than Saitama. But Genos might need to bring that back. I know he's indebted to Saitama, but he might need to like simmer it down just a little bit. This is just me, but you don't want to turn this dude, and you don't want to deify the man, even though he does have godlike power. But still, is anything more important than Master Saitama? Take it easy, says Zombie Man. Second goal. He went to Jupiter and wreaked destruction and reversed time, thereby changing history. Sounds nuts. They say even King's Limit is wrecking the moon. But Bald Cape, was Bald Cape really the one who defeated Garo? We should confirm. Well, Master's memory of the fight is incomplete. Huh? You need better lies to prop up that guy. What? Take it easy. Then we asked Garo. Didn't the police question him? He went in with Silver Fang, right? Sorry about that. Then we asked Garo. Didn't the police question him? He went in with Silver Fang, right? Second call. He didn't remember due to the shock of the punch. This is important, but no one remembers? We know little for certain. We know little for certain. And that's Flashy Flash. Second goal. However, Blast says God is intervening in this dimension more often because something here is attracting its attention. Wow, so this God individual is messing with the current dimension now that everyone lives in simply because Saitama exists. Apologies, everyone. My sincerest apologies. Remember when Genos got jealous of the demon dog being Saitama's pet? Oh yeah, I remember that. Okay, let's get back to it. He doesn't remember due to the shock of the putt. He doesn't remember due to the shock of the punch. This is important, but no one remembers. We know little for certain. This is Flashy Flash. And then second goal. However, Blast says God is intervening in this dimension more often because something here is attracting its attention. Like what? Like what? That's under investigation. Anyway, Blast will find a way to defeat this threat. Until then, solidarity and unity are top priority. God exploits weakness in the human heart. Solidarity. Then I look forward to organizational reform. If there is any word from Blast, contact Master Saitama. That is the only necessary measure. Now I shall go. But Demon Cyborg! You really admire him, huh? Sitch, tell Blast to hurry up with God so he can fight me. I'll make him regret going behind my back. Goodbye. Hey, Flash! And then Zombie Man is just going, Unity? That's a tall order around here. In exchange, and then he's thinking back to, what is his name? Gino? The dude from the House of Evolution. In exchange for removing his limiters, he lost his hair. The one with no limits. And then Flashy Flash. I thought Baldcape was Demon Cyborg's flunky, but it's the other way around. Demon Cyborg is biased, so he might be exaggerating. Then he thinks back to when he was just simply... He's thinking back to when Saitama was just punching straight through monsters alongside him. Or maybe Baldcape is a rough gem that might shine with polish. Then it cuts to a car driving on the street, and it's my mask. Demon Cyborg has the chops to be Class S, but he worships this guy, and he's looking at Saitama's picture. An ideal hero. And that's the end of chapter 171. So, they now know about the events of Saitama. Dr. Genus. Yes, thank you. I wanted to make sure because I sometimes get his name mixed up with Genos. Well, not really, but I sometimes had difficulty remember his name. So, not every S-rank hero is privy to this information that Blast has been fighting God for the past 2 decades. But that's what he's been doing, and with his collaborators who are still unknown somehow. So either these are collaborators from different dimensions. I mean, it pretty much confirms it in this chapter because it might as well confirm it as his collaborators being from different dimensions because he's saying that this god is frequenting this dimension more often because of Saitama. Because Saitama has his attention, apparently. But not every S-rank hero is privy to this information because we don't see any of the other heroes. I believe actually, when I think about it, the other S-rank heroes are probably recovering because a great deal of them got massively hurt during the fight with Psychos and the high execs of the Monsters Association. So it's understandable that they wouldn't even be there. But everyone else is still in top form to get this information. We got Dr. Beaufoy, aka Metal Knight, who's keeping an eye on Saitama, because he knows Saitama was the one who destroyed it, but he doesn't understand how. So now everyone is wondering, just how strong is Saitama for Genos, a Class S individual, to be his student? And like Flashy Flash already said, Genos is incredibly biased. When it comes to threats, he automatically thinks of Saitama. Not just because he knows Saitama will take care of it, but also due to his his boundless loyalty to Saitama as well. And now we have Amai Mask looking in on Saitama, and everyone questioning if he truly is that strong for Genos to give him this information. Especially when that amount of information took 4 hours to get through. Interesting. But now my mask is looking in on Saitama. And that is chapter 171. Onwards to chapter 172. And that'll be my last reaction for today. Punch 172, special something. And then it cuts to a car with the Blizzard Bunch. With Fubuki in there. You know, Blizzard. And it cuts to Eyelashes saying, "Miss Blizzard, why are you going there? You're mobilizing the Blizzard Bunch and look like you're ready for war." "I'm going to meet someone, and there may be fighting involved." City R! "We're planning a major push for these guys. They're gonna be hot. I even had them take the hero test to get popular like you." Ikemen Castle, major production company, and that looks like Flashy Flash. "After a year of intense training, 2 of the 7 made Class C. Those 2 are the main members, and they're set to release their debut single as an idol group." And then it cuts to the Bittensen Boys. Like it's a boy band, but they're also heroes as well. "Got any yet?" Oh, good. Let me just do this voice correctly. "They're gonna be hot. I even had them take the hero test to get popular like you. After a year of intense training, 2 of the 7 made Class C. Those 2 are the main members, and they're set to release their debut single as an idol group. Got any advice on how to survive the cruel entertainment world?" "Amai, are you even listening? You're our top idol, but they might surpass you." "They have 0 appeal. Stop talking to me. I can't abide imitators." And he's looking on his phone at the security cam of the security robots aiming at Saitama. Gate 9 security camera footage 2 days ago. And he's looking at the robot. He's looking at the robot aim at Saitama. And then there's just this swing his arm at Saitama. And then there's an explosion. And then there's Saitama standing there unscathed. "Amai, we're all in the same company here. You don't get it. So here's my advice. Listen closely. Don't talk to me." "What are you—" "Company president, was this really the best you could do? I'm in a rotten mood, so stop manufacturing these ugly fakes." And then one of them says, "Isn't that a little harsh?" Because that boy band group is right there in front of my mask. "Isn't that a little harsh? Imitators? Fakes? My mask, your conceit will be your downfall. I look great and I can sing and dance with the best. Calm down, Charian! And I can handle myself in a fight. Yeah, the 2 of us took the hero test. Class C, Class A, what's the difference? Want to fight? But faces are off limits as tools of the trade. Stop them, you guys! You said it yourself, Press. My mask is difficult because he insists on being a hero when he should focus on being an entertainer. And then Cherion, these dudes are about to get worked. Considering what he did to the Narinki Special Task Force, specifically in the chapters released on Viz, he would chew through them. Cherion says, we're just using the uncool title of hero as a stepping stone on the way to becoming top idols. We aren't wishy-washy like you. No. Wrong. Death, I sense. Pain, suffering, death, I feel. Something terrible is about to happen. I just feel it. We're just using the uncool title of hero as a stepping stone on the way to becoming top idols. We aren't wishy-washy like you. The only lukewarm fake around here is you. No. These dudes are dead. If he doesn't kill them, they're gonna get mangled. The company's got our back. Go be a hero and quit this biz. Danamai says, being a hero isn't that easy. You can't use it like that. Nah, that way of thinking don't work. This is business. What if I became a monster right here in front of your eyes? We kick your butt, 7 against 1, so take the Bittizen boys seriously. Why are you laughing? You can't intimidate us. We're ready to throw down. No, Fantas, if you injure your face, you'll... And then all of a sudden, every last one of the B-boys, they're B-boys, because I have a hard time saying that name naturally. Bittensan. The Bittensan boys all collectively start shaking profusely, trembling and shaking, and they start sweating. And then Amai says, it's a fear response, because I'm on a completely different level. And you don't have that special something. Not like he does. Oh, he acknowledges that Saitama has that special something. That the special something that is overwhelming strength. And in one panel, it shows Saitama standing there with the sun shining off of his head and his cape right behind him. Then it cuts to a helipad and a new apartment building. Well, I wouldn't say apartment building, just a new apartment building near the Heroes Association, I think. Near the Heroes, in the Heroes Association, because I see the potch marks of craters outside of the association. Room 104. And it's Saitama with a new shirt. He doesn't wear the hoodie anymore. Good timing. I just scavenged teacups. They're cracked though. And then it comes up to the 3 people that were trying to question King way earlier. With the dude with the beanie and the sunglasses and the earphones called Forte. And then the muscular dude with the full hair, chin, beard combination called Butterfly DX. And then there's Chain Toad, who we haven't seen since the encounter with Garo. Oh, I think it was a little bit after that. Forte, Class A, Rank 31 Hero, Room 103 Resident. Butterfly DX, Class A, Rank 16 Hero, Room 102 Resident. Chain Toad, Class A, Rank 36 Hero, Room 101 Resident. I let you in here, but who are you kids? Kids? How old are you? I'm 25. He's older, but... Forte is 24 years old. Oh, well, age don't matter. We've lived here longer. This facility has been open less than 2 weeks. 2 weeks? It's 2 weeks, Signori! But you never said hi or brought over sweets! Oh, sorry, you're neighbors. Nice to meet you. I'm Saitama. My old house got wrecked, but I made Class A and King introduced me to this place, so I moved in. King? I'm glad you understand. And then it cuts to Chain Toad, who actually takes off his mask. Thanks for the tea. And then he drinks the tea. And then he puts the helmet back on. And he just sits there like nothing. He just takes the helmet off, drinks the tea. We see his face for the first time, and then he just puts it on like, you didn't see anything. What the? Then Butterfly DX speaks. Chain Toad is a first-rate entertainer who uses weapons, but a little too commonplace to get popular, so he donned a mask. Now kids recognize him more. A tad. But isn't wearing a mask sort of commonplace? You probably know me, but I'm Butterfly DX. I moved here for the access to transportation. Sorry, don't know you, but it's a pleasure. I'm Forte. I listen to music with headphones and... hold on a sec. You don't know me? I'm on TV a lot, and I'm famous online. Oh, right. Wait here, I'll go change. He likes to make an impression. And then it cuts to Butterfly DX, who comes in wearing nothing but a Speedo and a pair of butterfly wings, and he has a massively hairy body. He's massively hairy. I don't like where that hair on the bottom half of his body is coming from. I am not a fan of that! We're gonna look away. But he's got, like, heels on, and he's got a Speedo on, and butterfly wings. Yeah, this dude's an Okama, isn't he? How's this? It's how I usually look. With my wings, I fly across rooftops. People talk about it and take videos, and I've been on TV. My old place only had public channels, so all I watched was weather and disaster reports. Besides, you're hairy. Don't shed in here. Then Forte. I listen to music and fight to the rhythm. Not like I care about popularity, but the youth think I'm pretty cool. Not like I care, but I was in a fashion magazine too. And Saitama doesn't say anything. Is it really necessary to fight in rhythm? Let's take this outside, Baldy. I'll show you what I got. And then it cuts to, that's the end of the chapter. It cuts to some members of the Bitansen group shivering as one of the other members gets like multiple cups of tea for him with your production dude for On My Mask going, I can use their rivalry to sell them both. Production notes. Secret production notes. And that's the end of chapter 172. Okay, so let's go over what we've just seen. So, this chapter was really a big chapter about... Apparently, the Blizzard Bunch is heading somewhere, and then it cuts to a My Mask who's with his publisher, and a new boy band gets introduced as Heroes, but they're just using it as a title to get popular, and My Mask is not bothered by any of them, nor is he interested in any of them, because he's far more interested in Saitama, and seeing just how strong Saitama actually is. And when they try to boast and say, like, you're nothing, we can take you, a My Mask simply just causes every single one of them to utterly shake and sweat in fear. Uncontrollably. Simply because of his presence. And he says that they don't have that special something, not like Saitama does. Then it cuts to Saitama, and we get introduced to Forte, Butterfly DX, and Chain Toad again. And they introduce themselves to Saitama now that Saitama has fully settled into the Heroes Association apartment building at Hero HQ. And in true Saitama fashion, he's pretty much indifferent to every single one of them. With Forte being the only one who actually has an attitude simply because Saitama questions the need to fight in rhythm. And then Forte yells at him, let's take this outside, I'll show you what I've got, not really fully realizing just who Saitama is. Alright, so let's just go over what we know. Matter of fact, let me do this. Hold on. Let me look up. Because I know I gotta be careful going onto the wiki for One Punch Man, since they post stuff about the chapters very, very early. So let me see. Let me just go down to where the current chapter is. They're on chapter 175. So the current chapter would be 175, but we got chapters 172. So I'm going to avoid going on the wiki right now. So, what do we know? First and foremost, from chapters 171, we know that some of the heroes have been aware of the whereabouts of Blast, where he's just constantly fighting this god individual. And he's been doing that for 20 years. We got multiple people interested in Saitama now. Simply because, yeah, the new scan came out, so be careful. Don't worry, I'm not going on there. I only go to the main page. I only go to the main page of the One Punch Man wiki. I hope I didn't say One Piece wiki. The One Punch Man wiki, to see where the chapter is at. Because if the chapter is farther along than Viz, then that means they're going to have information on characters I look up concerning the latest chapter. The latest chapter that's been out, and not the one that's been posted on Viz. So I'm not gonna. I just only go on there to look at where the chapter number is, and that's it. So it's far too soon for me to just be traipsing across the wiki yet, so I can look at everyone's abilities, because I don't want to be spoiled on anything potentially new. But what we do know is that there are more people looking out for Saitama. Because of all the information that they got, Saitama has now become a person of interest among many individuals, including Dr. Beaufoy, aka Metal Knight, my mask of all individuals, and pretty much those are the only people who have shown a direct interest in learning more and more about Saitama. And from what My Mask has seen of Saitama, he has that one special something that he looks for in other people. If they don't meet it, maybe that's the reason why he does not allow anyone to pass him in Class A. Because they lack that one special something. Maybe they lack that, and that special something is overwhelming strength, which could be the thing that a My Mask looks for in people in order for them to go from Class A to Class S. Mind you, Class S has not changed in a while, with the newest edition just being Genos. That's it. But it stands to reason that maybe he looks for overwhelming strength from individuals trying to pass him and move on to Class S. If they lack that, he makes sure that they don't pass. Seeing as how Saitama has that one special something that apparently he's been looking for, it stands to reason whether or not a My Mask could be a potential ally for Saitama, or sees him as a potential obstacle that he needs to overcome in order to secure his place as the Class A rank 1 hero. Because in order for Saitama to get past the My Mask and move into Class S on official terms, he has to outclass a My Mask in their eyes. We know Saitama outclasses a My Mask because Saitama is the strongest person in the entire series. The same way Yujiro Hanma is the strongest person in Baki. But in order for a Saitama to get past a My Mask, something's going to have to happen between the two where it is a My Mask acknowledges that Saitama is better than him and allows him to pass on the Class S. So I'm not saying we're probably going to get like a confrontation between the two, but with Saitama being in Class A right now, having risen through the ranks extremely fast due to his feats that he's helped save the world from, it's only a matter of time before Saitama's rank gets ever more closer to a My Mask, and then a confrontation is all but inevitable. So we're just going to have to wait and see where the next chapter drops, which is kind of random because I got to constantly check back on a regular basis to see where these next chapters come out. And last time I checked, they drop on a Wednesday. He's the gatekeeper of Class S, but hopefully he'll let Saitama enter the group. We got to see, because now that he has an interest in Saitama, I wouldn't be surprised if he keeps a closer eye on Saitama as far as his antics, to see if he truly is a person worthy of allowing into Class S. So only time will tell just how much effort a My Mask is going to put into watching Saitama. And not just him, but Dr. Beaufoy as well. Seeing as he's a person who's created an entire security system meant to take down monsters, and Saitama pretty much destroyed that entire defense system, which cost millions and millions of yen, it stands to reason that he's probably going to base a lot of his inventions off of Saitama's strength in order to strengthen defenses. Because my thing is, if Dr. Beaufoy is able to make stuff that can almost get close to Saitama, or at least be within his range, and mind you, his range is about as far from anyone as the sun is from the earth. So if he's able to get something close to Saitama, then the Heroes Association probably won't need to worry about any defenses being broken down if they can get closer and closer to Saitama. Off topic, but Ryokugyu's voice has been released in the English dub. Awesome! I'm still continuing watching the One Piece dub right now. I still got to catch up because I still got it on a tab after all these weeks. I still need to continue with watching the English dub of One Piece. I just like the English dub of One Piece. I'm not with the group of people that just think that dub is just utter garbage. Mind you, there are plenty like it, but there are plenty that are. But One Piece doesn't come off to me as a dub that has bad voice actors in it. That's just my opinion. So I can't wait to hear Ryokugyu's voice. I can't wait to hear it. But as far as One Punch Man is concerned, God is a threat. This God person, this God individual, possibly that big giant humanoid figure that was deep underground inside of a space that they pulled a block out of, and they saw like this huddled up fetal position giant humanoid figure in there. Whether that's God or what, don't know, but God is a threat, and he's spending way more time in this dimension simply because Saitama also exists in that dimension as well. It's drawn his attention. So I feel like we're probably going to be seeing more of Blast as we see more antics from God intervening in this dimension. So it's only a matter of time before a confrontation between Blast and God recommences again, and then Saitama is thrown into the mix. Because think about it. Something doesn't sit right about Metal Knight since the asteroid. He's been acting sketchy, and this God thing feels like Endgame One Punch Man. That's the thing. I'm glad you said that, because I was literally, before you said anything, I was about to say a confrontation between Saitama and God. You can no longer regard that as a far-fetched sentence to say. Especially when it comes to Saitama matchups. Saitama versus God. Think about that. A matchup that surpasses basically any other conceivable character that you could ever come up with. Saitama versus God. You can't go any higher than that because there's no one higher than God. So just imagine if Saitama actually beats God, Saitama would be stronger than God. Not the God that I know, but this God who's able to give people powers and then take them away and then just completely eradicate them. Let's hope Saitama doesn't destroy any other planets during his fight with God. Rest in peace, Jupiter. It's like, I never would have thought that... we've seen crazy matchups. Saitama versus the Hulk. Especially with that animation from that the Zen Animations guy on YouTube. I forget his name, but he does phenomenal animations with Superman versus Hulk, Saitama versus Hulk, and all these other characters as well. Never did any of us think that Saitama versus God would be something that could possibly be in the cards in the future. Never. Because whoever this God is, it promises power, and it gives you power. So much power. And it's just effortless. They just casually giving people power whenever, if they choose to allow him to. That's already monstrously powerful. An individual that can bestow to you just straight up superpowers. And then take them away whenever they want. And Blast has been fighting him for 20 years. So it's going to be interesting for Saitama to eventually fight God. Remember this, at 3:14 p.m., the 4th of December in 2022, when Kyushu put together and says that Saitama versus God is coming. Saitama versus God is coming. That seems like Endgame. Like you said, Ogata-san, that sounds like Endgame One Punch Man to me. And we already saw that Saitama is capable of moving faster than the speed of light. especially when he was fighting Cosmic Fear Garo. Moving fast enough to pretty much make up constellations and speed lines in space. Being able to travel light years in an instance just by, like letting out some gas. Traveling through a portal, being able to hit a person who can instantly transport behind him and then punch them before they even realize it. That and the destruction that happened when Saitama was just fighting Garo on a moon. Imagine how much strength Saitama's going to have to exert if he fights God. Like I said, that's not a matchup that I was expecting to see today, but now that thought's in my head and I'm just thinking, just how strong would Saitama have to be to beat him? Like, his strength is massive, and even then he doesn't do everything to maximum strength. But can you imagine Saitama beating God, and that still isn't his peak? That's scary to think about. But I've already gone a little bit longer than I was thinking, but I was glad that I was able to, go through those 2 chapters. But now this potentiality of Saitama versus God is just in my head now. And we're just going to have to wait to see if something like that were to happen in the far-off future. Oh boy, there's just a lot of things for me to think about right now. I'll think about it later. I'm going to chill for a little bit, then we'll pick up with Callisto Protocol so I can finish that game, so I can get back to God of War Ragnarok, because I still got things to do in that game. But that's all I got, ladies and gentlemen. I hope I was able to entertain you all with my voices and reading these last 2 chapters of One Punch Man. Not One Piece, One Punch Man. All I can say at the end of the day is, hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. And if you're new to the channel and you enjoyed what you saw here today, then like, subscribe, and maybe even consider becoming a member, because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. So have a fantastic day, and once again, as always, later peoples. Saitama versus God. Who would have thought that would be in our headspace right now?